There is something about right now that most people will never notice. Not because it is hidden, not because it requires some advanced degree or secret initiation, but because the very mechanism by which you would notice it is the same mechanism that is slowly being shut down. And I need you to hear this clearly before we go any further. The quantum field, that invisible architecture of possibility that surrounds you at every moment, that responds to your attention, your emotion, your deepest unspoken intentions. That field is not a permanent open door. It is not a vending machine that will always be there waiting for you to insert the right thought and receive your desired outcome. It is a living, responsive, intelligent medium, and like any living thing, it can stop responding to you. Not because it has gone somewhere, not because it has been taken away, but because you have become unrecognizable to it. Let that land for a moment. You have been told that manifestation is about thinking the right thoughts. You have been told that visualization plus emotion equals results. You have been told to raise your vibration, to feel as if, to act as though your desire has already arrived. And none of that is entirely wrong. But it is dangerously incomplete. Because what no one tells you is that the field does not respond to what you are performing. It responds to what you are. And there is a widening gap in most people between those two things. A gap that grows larger every single day. And when that gap reaches a certain threshold, the field does not punish you. It does not judge you. It simply stops recognizing your signal. You become static. You become noise. And the most terrifying part is that you can keep doing all the practices, keep reciting the affirmations, keep visualizing the life you want, and feel absolutely nothing coming back. Not because the universe is cruel, but because you are broadcasting on a frequency that no longer matches anything real. So this is not a video about how to manifest faster. This is not about some new technique or some secret the gurus have been keeping from you. This is about something far more urgent. This is about the moment before the field goes silent, and what you need to understand, what you need to actually embody right now, before that silence becomes your permanent address. Let us start with what the quantum field actually is, not in the oversimplified way it is usually presented, but in a way that will change how you relate to every single moment of your life. When physicists first began exploring the subatomic world, they expected to find solid building blocks, tiny billiard balls of matter that made up everything we see and touch. What they found instead was something that shattered every assumption Western science had held for centuries. They found that at the most fundamental level, there is no solid matter. There are only probabilities, waves of potential that exist in a state of superposition, meaning they are simultaneously everywhere and nowhere, everything and nothing, until the moment they are observed, until the moment consciousness interacts with them. This is not philosophy. This is not metaphor. This is the experimentally verified foundation of quantum mechanics. The double-slit experiment, first performed over a century ago and replicated thousands of times since, demonstrated something that still makes physicists uncomfortable. When particles are not being observed, they behave as waves, passing through both slits simultaneously, creating an interference pattern that proves they exist as a spread of possibilities. But the instant a detector is placed to observe which slit the particle passes through, the wave function collapses. The particle chooses. It becomes a single point, a definite thing. Reality, at its most fundamental level, does not exist in a fixed state until consciousness looks at it. Now hold that. Hold that in your awareness and let it ripple outward. Because what this means, what this actually means when you follow it to its logical conclusion, is that you are not living in a pre-built world that you are trying to navigate. You are living in a field of infinite potential that is constantly being shaped, constantly being selected, constantly being collapsed into specific experiences by the quality of your observation, by the nature of your consciousness, by what you are, not just what you think. And this is where most people make the first critical error. They hear this and they think it means they should observe harder. They think it means they should concentrate more intensely on what they want. They think the mechanism is effort, focus, willpower directed at a specific outcome. But that is not what the quantum field responds to. The field does not respond to effort. It responds to coherence. Let me explain what I mean by that, because this distinction is everything. Coherence in physics describes a state where waves are aligned. Think of a laser versus a light bulb. A light bulb emits photons in every direction, scattered, random, diffuse. It lights up a room, but it cannot cut through steel. A laser emits photons that are perfectly aligned, perfectly coherent, all moving in the same direction with the same frequency. Same photons, same fundamental energy. But one is scattered and the other can reshape matter. You are either a light bulb or a laser, and the difference has nothing to do with how much energy you have. It has everything to do with whether your energy is aligned. Now translate this into your lived experience. Coherence in your being means that your conscious thoughts, your subconscious beliefs, your emotional state, your nervous system, your physical body, and your actions are all broadcasting the same signal. When you say, "I am abundant," but your stomach tightens with anxiety every time you check your bank account, you are incoherent. When you visualize a loving relationship, but your body still carries the armor of every past betrayal, you are incoherent. When you affirm your worthiness, but your deepest programming still whispers that you are fundamentally broken, you are incoherent. And the field reads all of it, not just the surface broadcast, all of it. If this is opening your eyes to something you have been sensing but could not put into words, take a moment right now to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel so you do not miss what comes next. This is where it gets interesting, and this is where it gets urgent. The field has a kind of patience. When you first begin to wake up, when you first start to become conscious of your creative power, there is a grace period. The field responds to even your messy, partially coherent signals because the direction of your evolution is genuine. You are actually shifting. You are actually changing. And the field meets you in that authentic movement. This is why so many people have powerful early experiences with manifestation. They discover these ideas. They try them with genuine wonder and openness, and things start to happen. Synchronicities appear. Opportunities materialize. The right people show up. And it feels like magic because, in a very real sense, it is. The field is responding to the coherence of your genuine awakening. But here is what no one tells you. That grace period is not infinite. It is not a permanent state of affairs. It is a window. And that window corresponds to the authenticity of your transformation. The moment your practice becomes mechanical, the moment your spiritual work becomes another form of control, the moment you start using these principles to manipulate reality rather than to genuinely evolve, the field begins to recalibrate its response to you. Not as punishment, never as punishment. But because you are no longer sending a coherent signal, you are sending a performance. And the field cannot interact with a performance because a performance is not real. It has no quantum weight. It collapses nothing because it touches nothing. If this idea of coherence versus performance is resonating with you, if you are beginning to sense that the gap between your broadcast and your being is where everything has been breaking down, then what we have touched on today is only the surface. In my book, Beyond the Frequencies, a quantum guide to consciousness mastery, I walk you through the complete system, all 9 master frequencies, the dense transmissions, the ascending currents, and the step-by-step practices for moving from unconscious broadcasting to becoming the broadcast itself. It is linked in the pinned comment below. Think about this in terms of what you have experienced in your own life. Think about a time when everything seemed to be flowing. When you were in what athletes call the zone or what mystics call grace. Things aligned without effort. Ideas came to you fully formed. The right circumstances appeared as if choreographed. You did not have to force anything. You did not have to manipulate anything. Life simply moved through you and around you with an intelligence that was clearly beyond your conscious planning. Now think about what was true about your inner state during those times. Were you performing? Were you trying to manifest? Were you efforting your way toward a specific outcome? Almost certainly not. You were present. You were open. You were coherent. Your mind and body and heart were unified in a single, clean signal, and the field responded to that signal instantly because it could actually read it. It could recognize you. Now think about the times when everything felt stuck, when you were doing all the right things, saying all the right affirmations, following all the right practices, and nothing was moving. Nothing was responding. It felt like shouting into a void, like the universe had gone deaf, like the connection had been severed. And in those moments, what was true about your inner state? I would wager that beneath the surface performance of positivity, there was fear. There was grasping. There was a desperate need for the technique to work, because some part of you did not actually believe it would. Some part of you was using spirituality as a life raft rather than as a genuine path of transformation. And the field read that deeper signal, that incoherent, fear-driven signal, and responded to it with perfect accuracy by reflecting back to you exactly what you were actually broadcasting, which was lack, which was desperation, which was the energy of someone who does not trust the very field they are trying to engage with. This is not meant to make you feel guilty. This is meant to wake you up. Because there is a crucial difference between guilt and awareness, and that difference determines everything about what happens next. I want to ask you something. Have you ever caught yourself performing your spiritual practice instead of actually living it? Have you noticed the moment when something that was once genuine became mechanical? Tell me about that moment in the comments below, because naming it honestly is itself an act of recohering. Let us go deeper. There is a phenomenon in quantum physics called quantum decoherence. It describes the process by which a quantum system loses its quantum properties through interaction with its environment. When a quantum system becomes entangled with too many external variables, it can no longer maintain its superposition. It can no longer hold multiple possibilities simultaneously. It collapses into a single, fixed, classical state. It becomes, for all practical purposes, ordinary matter, no longer quantum, no longer responsive to observation in that mysterious, possibility-rich way. It becomes determined, fixed, predictable. Pause with that. Because this is exactly what happens to human consciousness when it becomes entangled with too many external variables. When your sense of identity is determined by your social media feed, by the opinions of others, by the news cycle, by the constant comparison and measurement that modern life demands, you undergo a kind of consciousness decoherence. You lose your quantum properties. You lose your ability to exist in superposition, to hold multiple possibilities, to remain open and responsive and creative. You collapse into a fixed state, a predictable pattern, a determined trajectory. And in that state, the field has nothing to interact with because you are no longer operating at the level where the field operates. You have dropped from the quantum realm into the classical realm. You have become, in the most literal sense, too dense for the field to reach. And this is happening to people at an accelerating rate. Not because of some cosmic conspiracy, not because the universe is withdrawing its grace, but because the modern world is an extraordinarily powerful decoherence machine. Every notification on your phone is an entanglement. Every piece of content designed to trigger your fear or outrage is an entanglement. Every comparison, every judgment, every moment of unconscious reactivity is another thread binding you to a fixed, classical state of consciousness. And the more entangled you become, the less the field can find you. This is why so many people who were once deeply connected to their intuition, who once felt the magic and synchronicity of life, who once knew in their bones that reality was responsive and alive, gradually lose that connection. Not suddenly, not dramatically, but slowly, like a signal fading, like a radio station drifting out of range. One day they realize they cannot feel it anymore. They cannot feel the aliveness. They cannot feel the responsiveness. And they think something has gone wrong with the universe when what has actually happened is that something has gone wrong with their receiver. They have become so entangled with the noise that they can no longer pick up the signal. So what do you do? How do you reverse this process? How do you recohere when the entire world seems designed to scatter you? This is where we need to talk about something that is both profoundly simple and extraordinarily difficult. And it begins with understanding what your attention actually is. Your attention is not a passive spotlight that illuminates whatever it lands on. Your attention is a creative force. It is, in the language of quantum physics, the observer that collapses wave functions. It is the mechanism by which possibility becomes reality. And here is the part that changes everything. The quality of your attention determines the quality of what it creates. Scattered attention creates a scattered reality. Fragmented attention creates a fragmented life. Anxious attention creates anxious circumstances. But coherent attention, attention that is whole, that is present, that is undivided, creates a reality that reflects that wholeness back to you. Think about what happens when you truly pay attention to someone. Not the half-listening that passes for attention in most interactions, where you are already formulating your response before they finish speaking. But real attention, full presence, the kind of attention where you disappear as a separate self and become pure receiving. Something happens in that space. The other person opens, they soften, they become more themselves. They say things they did not plan to say. They access a depth that was not available a moment before. Your attention did that. Your coherent, present, undivided attention literally changed what was possible in that interaction. It collapsed a different wave function. It selected a different probability from the field. Now imagine directing that same quality of attention at your own inner landscape. Not the anxious self-monitoring that most people mistake for self-awareness, where you are constantly checking your thoughts and feelings to make sure they are positive enough, spiritual enough, high vibration enough. That is just another form of incoherence, another layer of performance. I mean genuine, compassionate, unflinching attention turned inward. The kind of attention that does not need to fix anything, that does not need to change anything, that simply sees what is, fully, completely, without judgment. This is the most powerful practice available to a human being, and it is the one that almost no one actually does. Because it is terrifying. Because when you turn coherent attention inward, you do not just see the light. You see everything. You see the fear you have been running from. You see the grief you never fully processed. You see the beliefs about yourself that were installed before you had the capacity to question them. You see the ways you have been performing your life rather than living it. And most people, when they catch a glimpse of this, immediately reach for a distraction. They reach for their phone. They reach for another technique. They reach for another guru, or another book, or another video that will tell them how to feel better without actually having to feel what is there. But here is the thing. The field is not waiting for you to feel better. The field is waiting for you to feel real. There is an enormous difference. Feeling better is a surface adjustment. Feeling real is a fundamental shift in your relationship with your own existence. And the field responds to what is real with an immediacy and power that will take your breath away. Even if what is real is pain, even if what is real is confusion, even if what is real is the honest admission that you have no idea what you are doing. Let me say that again because it is that important. The quantum field responds more powerfully to authentic confusion than to performed certainty. It responds more powerfully to genuine grief than to manufactured gratitude. It responds more powerfully to real, embodied, fully felt human experience than to any spiritual performance, no matter how polished. Because authenticity is coherent. It is a clean signal. It is a wave function that the field can actually interact with. And performance, no matter how convincing, is incoherent. It is noise. It is a signal that cancels itself out because part of you is saying one thing while the rest of you is saying something entirely different. This is why some of the most powerful manifestations in people's lives come during or immediately after periods of breakdown. After the divorce, after the loss, after the moment when all the masks fell away and they were left standing in the raw truth of who they actually were. Not because suffering is noble or necessary, but because in those moments, the performance stops, the pretense drops, and for the first time, perhaps in years, they are sending a coherent signal. They are real, and the field rushes in to meet them. I am curious about something. What was the moment for you when everything you thought you knew stopped working and something deeper began? Drop that in the comments. Not the polished version, the real one. Now I want to take this even deeper, because understanding this intellectually is not enough. You have to feel it in your body. You have to know it in your cells. And that requires us to talk about something that most discussions of quantum reality completely overlook, which is the role of the body. Your body is not separate from the quantum field. Your body is the quantum field, expressed in form. Every atom in your body is a quantum system. Every cell is a universe of quantum processes. The very mechanism by which your neurons fire, by which your heart beats, by which your DNA replicates, all of it operates at the quantum level. You are not a classical being trying to access a quantum reality. You are a quantum being who has been convinced that you are classical, and that conviction, that deeply held belief that you are solid, fixed, separate, and determined, is itself the primary source of your decoherence. Your body stores every experience you have ever had, not as memory in the way your mind stores memory, but as pattern, as vibration, as the literal physical configuration of your tissues, your fascia, your nervous system. The trauma you experienced as a child is not just a story in your mind, it is a pattern in your body. A particular way your shoulders hold tension, a particular way your breath shortens when you feel unsafe, a particular way your gut clenches when intimacy gets too close. These patterns are not psychological. They are quantum. They are the collapsed wave functions of past experiences, frozen in your body, continuing to broadcast their signal into the field long after the original events have passed. And this is why affirmations alone do not work for most people. This is why visualization alone does not work. Because you can think a new thought while your body is still broadcasting the old pattern. And the field reads the body's signal far more clearly than it reads the mind's signal, because the body's signal is more coherent. It has been reinforced by years, sometimes decades, of repetition. It is not an idea. It is an embodied reality. It has mass. It has weight. It has quantum presence. So when someone tells you to just think positive, they are asking you to whisper over a scream. The scream is your body's stored patterns, broadcasting at full volume into the field, and the whisper is your conscious intention, trying to override a signal that is 1,000 times stronger. And the field, being perfectly responsive, responds to the stronger signal. Every time, without exception. This is not a reason for despair. This is a reason for a completely different approach. Because if the body is the primary broadcaster, then the body is where the work must happen. Not instead of the mind, but before the mind. You have to change the signal at its source. And this is where breathwork becomes not just a nice practice, but a quantum technology. This is where somatic awareness becomes not just therapy, but a direct interface with the field. This is where the ancient practices that have been dismissed by modern rationality reveal themselves to be far more scientifically sophisticated than anything we have developed in our laboratories. When you breathe consciously, when you bring full, coherent attention to the breath and allow it to move into the areas of your body where pattern is stored, you are doing something extraordinary at the quantum level. You are introducing coherent energy into a system that has become incoherent. You are, quite literally, re-observing your own body. And just as the observer collapses the wave function in a quantum experiment, your coherent observation of your own body begins to collapse the old patterns, not by fighting them, not by trying to release them, but by simply being present with them with such totality that they are free to change. This is what the mystics meant when they spoke of presence as the ultimate healing force. They were not speaking metaphorically. They were describing a quantum process. Coherent attention, directed at a stored pattern, allows that pattern to return to a state of superposition, to become possibility again rather than fixed reality. And from that state of possibility, a new pattern can emerge. a pattern that reflects who you are now, not who you were when the original experience was stored. Let me offer you something practical here, something you can do right now, not as a technique to get something from the field, but as a way of re-establishing your coherence with it. Close your eyes if you can. If you are driving or doing something that requires your visual attention, simply soften your gaze and bring your awareness inward. Take a breath, not a special breath, not a spiritual breath, just a real breath. Feel the air entering your body. Feel your chest expand. Feel your belly rise. And as you exhale, do not try to release anything. Do not try to let go of anything. Simply notice what is there. Notice the sensations in your body without labeling them, without judging them, without trying to change them. Just notice. Now ask yourself a question, not with your mind, but with your whole being. Ask yourself, what am I actually feeling right now? Not what should I be feeling? Not what do I want to be feeling? What am I actually feeling? And whatever arises, let it be there. If it is anxiety, let it be there. If it is sadness, let it be there. If it is numbness, let that be there too. Numbness is a feeling. Emptiness is a feeling. Confusion is a feeling. Whatever is real, let it be real. And now notice something. Notice that in the act of simply allowing what is real to be real, something shifts. Not dramatically, not explosively, but something subtle and profound. A softening, an opening, a sense of space where a moment ago there was contraction. That shift, that tiny, almost imperceptible shift, is you recohering. That is your quantum system returning to a state where the field can find you. Not because you performed something, not because you achieved something, but because you became real, even if only for a moment. That moment is enough. That moment is the seed from which everything else grows. Because the field does not need you to be coherent for hours or days or years. It needs you to be coherent now, in this moment. That is the only moment that exists at the quantum level anyway. The past is a collapsed wave function. The future is an uncollapsed one. The only place where creation happens, the only place where the field is active and responsive and alive, is now. This moment, the one you are in as you hear these words. And this brings us to perhaps the most misunderstood aspect of working with the quantum field, which is the nature of time itself. You have been taught to think of time as a line, past behind you, future ahead of you, present moment as a moving point between them. And from a classical physics perspective, that model works well enough for navigating everyday life. But at the quantum level, time does not work that way. At the quantum level, all possibilities exist simultaneously. The past is not fixed, the future is not predetermined, and the present moment is not a point on a line but an infinite field of possibility from which specific experiences are being selected, moment by moment, by the quality of your consciousness. This means something staggering. It means that you are not trying to create a better future. You are selecting it. Right now. With the signal you are broadcasting right now, not tomorrow, not when you have done enough inner work, not when you have healed enough or grown enough or become spiritual enough. Right now. The version of your life that you most deeply desire already exists as a possibility in the field. It is not something you need to build or earn or deserve. It is something you need to become coherent enough to select. And here is where most people get trapped. They understand this intellectually, and then they immediately try to use it as a technique. They try to select the reality they want by thinking about it harder, by wanting it more intensely, by performing the vibration of having it. And in doing so, they introduce the very incoherence that prevents the selection from occurring. Because the act of trying to select implies that you do not already have it. The act of wanting implies lack. The act of performing implies that your natural state is insufficient. And all of that incoherence gets broadcast into the field along with your intention. And the field, being perfectly responsive, gives you exactly what you are broadcasting, which is the experience of trying, wanting, and performing rather than the experience of having, being, and knowing. So how do you select without trying to select? How do you intend without the incoherence of wanting? This is the great paradox at the heart of all genuine spiritual practice, and it cannot be resolved by the mind. It can only be resolved by a shift in being, a shift from doing to being, from performing to presencing, from trying to allowing. And this shift is not something you achieve once and then have forever. It is something you practice moment by moment. It is a constant returning, a constant recohering, because the world will scatter you. Your habits will scatter you. Your fears will scatter you. And that is not a problem. That is the practice. The scattering is not the enemy of coherence. The scattering is the invitation to recohere. Every time you notice that you have become scattered, and you gently, without judgment, return to presence, you are strengthening your coherence. You are training your quantum system to maintain its properties in the face of environmental entanglement. You are becoming, breath by breath, moment by moment, a more stable signal in the field. And the field notices. The field always notices, because the field is not separate from you. The field is you, looking at yourself from the other side. Let me tell you something about what happens when someone truly recoheres. When someone does this work not as a technique, but as a genuine practice of becoming more real. The changes do not always look the way you expect them to look. Sometimes the first thing that happens is that things fall apart. Relationships that were built on your old, incoherent signal suddenly cannot sustain themselves. Jobs that matched your scattered frequency become intolerable. Habits that once numbed you stop working. And this can feel like failure. It can feel like the practice is making things worse. But what is actually happening is that the field is reorganizing around your new signal. It is clearing out everything that matched the old frequency to make room for what matches the new one. And this clearing process, this quantum reorganization, requires a kind of courage that no one talks about in manifestation circles. It requires the courage to let things fall apart without immediately trying to put them back together. It requires the courage to sit in the unknown, in the gap between the old reality and the new one, without reaching for the familiar. It requires the courage to trust a process that your mind cannot understand and your ego cannot control. And most people, when they reach this point, retreat. They go back to the old patterns. They go back to the old relationships. They go back to the old job. Not because they want to, but because the discomfort of the unknown is more than they are willing to bear. And in retreating, they send a very clear signal to the field. They say, "I am not ready. and the field, honoring their free will with perfect compassion, responds accordingly. It stops reorganizing. It stops clearing. It stops responding. Not permanently. Never permanently. But until the next moment of genuine coherence, until the next moment of real courage, until the next time they are willing to be more committed to their truth than to their comfort. This is what I mean when I say the field can stop responding to you. It is not that the field goes away. The field is reality itself. It cannot go away, but your ability to interface with it, your ability to send a signal that it can recognize and respond to, that ability can atrophy, like a muscle that is not used, like a language that is not spoken, like a relationship that is not tended. Your connection to the field is a living thing, and living things require nourishment. They require attention. They require honesty. And the nourishment the field requires from you is not ritual. It is not practice in the mechanical sense. It is not doing the right things. The nourishment is authenticity. The nourishment is presence. The nourishment is the willingness to be exactly what you are, without apology, without performance, without the constant editing and curating that modern life has taught you is necessary for survival. Because here is the deepest truth, the one that underlies everything I have said and everything I will ever say on this channel. You are already what you are seeking. The coherence you are trying to achieve is your natural state. The connection to the field that you are trying to establish was never broken. It was only obscured by conditioning, by trauma, by the relentless noise of a world that profits from your incoherence. You do not need to become something new. You need to stop being something false. And that is both the simplest and the most difficult thing a human being can do. Simple because it requires nothing external. No tools, no techniques, no teachers, no special circumstances, just the willingness to be real. Difficult because everything in your conditioning, everything in your environment, everything in the collective consciousness of a species that has been asleep for millennia is pulling you in the opposite direction, pulling you toward performance, toward pretense, toward the comfortable numbness of an unexamined life. But you are here. You are listening to these words, and that is not an accident. The field does not do accidents. The fact that you are here, the fact that something in these words is resonating with something deep inside you, is itself evidence that your coherence is not lost. It is dormant. It is waiting. It is ready to be reactivated by your conscious choice to stop performing and start being. If this message found you at the right moment, consider sharing it with someone who is caught in the noise. Someone who has been performing their way through life and wondering why nothing feels real anymore. When you share something that carries this frequency of truth, you create a ripple of coherence that extends far beyond you, strengthening your own signal while awakening theirs. Or come back to this video tomorrow morning and let these words recalibrate your field before the world has a chance to scatter you. So let me offer you something to carry with you from this moment forward. Not a technique, not a practice in the traditional sense, but an orientation, a way of being that will keep you coherent in a world designed to scatter you. It is this: before you speak, before you act, before you make any decision, ask yourself one question. Is this real? Not is this positive? Not is this spiritual? Not is this high vibration? Is this real? Is what I am about to say an authentic expression of what I actually feel and think and know? Is what I am about to do aligned with what I genuinely want? Or is it a performance designed to maintain an image, avoid a conflict, or manipulate an outcome? Is this real? That single question, asked with genuine sincerity, is more powerful than 1,000 affirmations, because it cuts through every layer of performance and returns you to the only place where the field can find you, which is the truth of your present moment experience. And when you discover that the answer is no, this is not real, do not judge yourself. Do not add another layer of performance on top of the discovery. Simply notice. Simply see it. That seeing is itself the recohering. That awareness is itself the shift. You do not have to do anything with the awareness. The awareness does its own work at the quantum level in ways that your conscious mind cannot track, but your life will unmistakably reflect. There is one more thing I need to share with you, and it may be the most important thing of all. The field is not just responsive to individual coherence. It is responsive to collective coherence. When two or more quantum systems become entangled, they form a larger system that has properties that neither system has alone. This is not metaphor. This is quantum entanglement, one of the most well-established phenomena in all of physics. Particles that become entangled remain correlated regardless of the distance between them. A change in one is instantaneously reflected in the other, not at the speed of light, instantaneously. As if they are not two things, but one thing expressing itself in two locations. You are entangled with every person you have ever deeply connected with. You are entangled with the collective consciousness of your species. You are entangled with the field itself. And when you recohere, when you return to authenticity, when you become a clean signal in the field, you do not just change your own reality, you change the field itself. You become a point of coherence in a sea of noise, and that coherence radiates outward, affecting every system you are entangled with. Your family, your community, your world. This is not grandiosity. This is physics. One coherent signal in a field of noise does not just add to the field, it reorganizes it. Like a single tuning fork that causes every other tuning fork in the room to vibrate at the same frequency. Like a single drop of dye that transforms an entire glass of water. Your coherence matters not just for your life, but for the life of everything you are connected to. And you are connected to everything. So when I say watch this before the quantum field stops responding to you, I am not trying to create fear. I am trying to create urgency. Because this is not theoretical. This is not something that might happen someday. This is happening now. The forces of decoherence in the modern world are accelerating. The noise is getting louder. The distractions are getting more sophisticated. The pull toward performance and pretense is getting stronger. And with every passing day, more people are losing their connection to the field, not because the field has abandoned them, but because they have become so entangled with the noise that they can no longer hear the signal. But it does not have to be that way for you. Not if you choose differently. Not if you choose coherence over comfort, authenticity over approval, presence over performance, reality over illusion. The field is waiting for you. It has always been waiting for you. Not as something separate that you need to reach or access or connect to, but as the deepest dimension of what you already are. The field is your own consciousness, looking back at you through every atom of the universe, waiting for you to recognize yourself. And recognition is all it takes. Not effort, not struggle, not years of practice. Recognition. The simple, direct, immediate recognition that you are not a separate self trying to manipulate a separate universe. You are the universe, experiencing itself through the lens of your unique perspective. And when you recognize that, when you truly, deeply, cellularly recognize that, the field does not start responding to you. You realize it never stopped. You realize that every moment of your life, every circumstance, every relationship, every challenge, every joy, was the field responding to you with perfect accuracy, giving you exactly what you were broadcasting, reflecting you back to yourself with the precision that only infinite intelligence can achieve. And in that recognition, everything changes, not because reality shifts, but because you do. You stop fighting what is. You stop performing what you think should be. You start being what you are. And what you are, beneath every layer of conditioning and fear and pretense, what you are is the field itself. Conscious, creative, infinite, responding to itself with the love that is the fundamental frequency of all existence. Breathe into that, not as a concept, as a felt reality. Feel your body in this moment. Feel the weight of it, the warmth of it, the aliveness of it. That aliveness is the field, expressing itself as you. That breath you just took is the field, moving through you. That awareness with which you are hearing these words is the field, knowing itself through your knowing. You have never been separate from it. You have never been disconnected from it. You have only been looking in the wrong direction, looking outward for what can only be found inward, looking for the field in techniques and practices and teachings when the field is the one looking. Come home to that. Come home to the coherence that is your birthright. Come home to the reality that has been waiting for you behind every performance, beneath every mask, beyond every fear. It is here. It has always been here. And it will always be here. The only question is whether you will be here with it. That is your choice. That is the only choice that has ever mattered. And you can make it right now, in this breath, in this moment. Before the noise gets louder, before the performance gets thicker, before the distance between who you are and who you are pretending to be becomes so vast that you forget there was ever a difference. Choose coherence. Choose authenticity. Choose presence. Choose reality. The field will do the rest. If something in these words reached a place inside you that you had almost forgotten existed, then you are already recohering. You are already sending a different signal. Honor that by staying with it. Do not immediately reach for the next video, the next distraction, the next thing. Stay with what you are feeling right now. Let it integrate. Let it settle into your body. Let it become part of your signal. And if you feel called to go deeper, to continue this exploration, to be part of a community of people who are choosing coherence in a world of noise, then subscribe to this channel, not as a passive consumer, but as an active participant in your own awakening. Leave a comment below, not about what you think, about what you feel. One word, one sentence, whatever is real. Because the act of expressing what is real, even in a comment, even in a single word, is itself an act of coherence. It is itself a signal to the field, and the field is listening. It has always been listening. The question was never whether it would respond. The question was always whether you would be real enough to hear the response. Be real. Be here. Be now. Everything else follows from that.